What is up, folks? Welcome to another week of the High Tech Podcast. I am Josh, one of the hosts of the High Tech Podcast. That's why I'm talking. You know, it's what hosts do. Joined by the other hosts, the one, the only. I'm not good at coming up with my compatriot, companion, pal, buddy, friend.
You can do your own thing, dude.
I can do my own thing? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing. That's Will, one of the other hosts of the podcast. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm actually going to try this as what you just said, though. The opposite. I'm going to be the silent host. So you're just
going to not talk. That's your move. Just the quiet. I don't like it. It's creepy. I don't like it at all. I don't like it. That's just
we're here. We're doing good.
Yeah,
we
we're
survived.
Doing good.
We had snowpocalypse this past weekend. So
yeah,
all of us
for those who
live
anywhere near the East Coast, you know, it was a fun time this week for us. So as we're recording this, it's the end of January, the 29th. And we just got done shoveling ourselves out quite a lot. I don't like it at all. Sam sent me today. Fun fact, okay? It was 17 degrees here, and it was 30 degrees in Alaska. We are colder than Alaska. Okay? That seems
I think that's
okay.
a problem.
Now, like, people are like in Michigan are like, so what? I have to warm my batteries in the morning. And to you, I say, that's nature's way of saying you shouldn't live there. I'm sorry. Pennsylvania doesn't do that regularly. Your place does. And I feel like that's your place saying, don't live here.
Yesterday morning, our very lovely and wonderful Chris Crosdale, who does our social media, thank you, Chris, love you, sent me a text message, hey,
to say how awesome he was at done shoveling, right? Because he owns a shovel like an adult.
I wasn't going to drag him, but you can drag him if you want to. But he and I went out and I was helping him shovel his car out because, yes, he did not own a shovel at the time, Christopher. And literally, I've not, of course, I can't see my own face while I've been out doing stuff in the snow, but I looked at him after we had been out there
usually you don't see your own face. This is kind of a general thing. You said it like when you're out in the snow, you can't see your own face.
I know.
But regularly, you see it all the time.
There's mirrors in my house. I don't know. Anyways.
True. Yeah, well, I'm going to go out.
I turned, at one point, he was like shoveling out the back end of his car. I was shoving out the front end of his car. And I turned and looked at him, and his beard was just covered in ice. And I'm like, yeah. That sucks.
You don't know. Okay, it is cold enough right now that if, like, in the morning when I go outside, okay, because I've been having it's at the shop now. But through this cold, discovered that I need a new battery because my car just kept dying. So that's super fun. And so the last like 2 days, I had to jump it in the morning to be able to go to work. And like if I'm outside for like more than a couple minutes, this beautiful beard just starts to freeze over. And like I hate it. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's dumb.
Huh. What don't I have to deal with?
Yeah. You know what your face did? It was just cold. Because it's skin.
Well, that's a fact.
Okay.
That is a fact. Wait, do you think generally your face is warm? Like, is it warmer?
Is it warmer than yours? Probably, yeah. It's gotta be warmer.
Makes sense, but
I've never really thought about it because I'm just like cold. But I guess like my chin's never cold. I'm never like, my like bottom of my face never feels super cold. You know? I guess I've never thought that deeply about this.
Folks, this is legitimately happening live.
This is like this is just a realization for you. Like, okay, like here, real quick. I know you guys are here to hear about technology, but we need to answer this very important question. Okay, Will, when you go outside in the winter, does your chin feel cold? Like, does it feel cold?
Yes. My face hurts when I go outside because it's all cold.
So it does keep me warmer. Now that I'm thinking about this, I've never really felt like the bottom part of my face is that cold before.
Wow. I wrap scarves up to my nose or over my nose when I'm outside.
I've never done that.
Weather.
Now my nose gets cold. Like it's not like that doesn't get cold, right.
So you need a nose beard. You need to grow your hair up.
That would seem weird, I guess. I don't know. There's a whole breathing thing that you have to do. It's a whole. Anyway, this is an occurrence to me. This is a moment. I've never thought about this before.
That's wild.
Yeah.
This is
the only time I ever really think
this.
The only time I think about my beard is when it freezes, or you wouldn't have this experience, but with a long enough beard, when my beard got long enough for the first time, and it like I had to get in a pool afterwards. Okay, this is a thing. Okay, and you feel your beard move. Yeah, like you feel your beard move when you get like closer to the water. That was a weird experience for me to get used to. So there's a fun fact for you. If you ever grow it out, that's the first kind of weird vibe. Soup is never the same. That's also true.
See, it sounds like you live a harder life than me, friend.
I live a warmer life because of my beard.
That's true.
You know? Plus, like, come on. Cooler life, too. That's
Josh, if they love this conversation, what should they do about it? Where should they go?
I guess they should follow us on social media, probably. I know it's crazy considering the topics we just talked about, but we are on the internet. Make sure on all socials at High Tech Podcast or at High Tech Pod. Make sure to follow us, subscribe. We got some new subscribers this week, which is super cool. We like that. Keep that happening. That would be super cool. That would be,
please,
we just really prefer it. So go follow us at High Tech Podcast or at High Tech Pod. You can also email us at inbox@hightechpod.us if you'd like to let us know, like, you know, why you think beards are cooler than people with non-beards. You know, if you've got takes on that, or you've got other interesting facts about how beards change your life. You know, you'd like to hit us up with that, or you'd just like to be on the podcast. I guess that's also an option. You can hit us up at inbox@hightechpod.us, or if you just want to talk to us about a tool we talked about or something we're talking about, we'd like doing that as well. And by we, I mean Will. He's the one who responds. I just open it occasionally. So make sure inbox@hightechpod.us. Also, our website, hightechpod.us, has all of our episode pages, including fun links to all the resources and tools that we provide. For instance, we're going to be talking about a tool that we really like called Scribe today, and you can find that at the links on our website as well. So that's the spiel. Now we can get into the real meat of the content. And when I say the real meat of the content, I'm not talking about what we're here to talk about today. I'm here to talk about tank or not, Will. Remember, extensive backstory. If you don't think it's a tank, what do you think it is?
Oh, sweet Christmas.
I'm really glad you didn't see the other one.
Okay, so
it would have ruined it.
It's either like a pool, like that's like the last rung on a ladder in a pool to get out, or it's like a scorpion tank from Halo. Like that's like I'm like it's like not a tank and it's something in real life, or I'm looking at a scorpion from a video game. Like that's my two leanings here. It's folks that are listening and not watching. I don't know why you would do that, Robin.
Yeah,
Steven. But anyways, love you guys. It's green. It's like a little bit of a rectangle with like a triangle coming off of it. There's one handle in sight, and then there's like what looks to be probably a step above the handle. So it's definitely something mechanical. It could be a tractor, Robin. It could be a scorpion tank from Halo. I don't know. And when I say Halo, folks, I mean Halo, the video game, Master Chief, Spartans, 117. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with not a tank, and I think it's a tractor. Yep.
I think it's a tractor.
Go for it.
Okay.
I think it's a tractor.
Okay. So here's the deal, Will. You were so close. I think it's kind of interesting you went with a scorpion because it's not a tank.
It's a warthog.
But it's a warthog.
It's a real warthog.
Yeah, I found a picture of a real one. That's a real somebody owns a real warthog from Halo.
I want it.
So I panicked because the screen I almost shared was a picture of a whole bunch of warthogs that I was trying to pick from.
That's great.
But you're right. It's not a tank. You're what you thought it was wrong. I think it's very interesting. From just this, you thought it was a scorpion from Halo. It was the other option. So like
it's the color.
Yeah, it's the color. It's kind of the Halo has a specific kind of green.
Like I know the military leans into greens and stuff, but I don't know. Like that green is Halo to me. You know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. I get it. The Halo's got like a certain type of
what's
green.
really great about that though is I'm now at a 5-3 win-loss ratio.
You are. That's intense.
Pretty good about myself.
I give this one an asterisk because you said not a tank, but what you thought it was not a tractor. That's not,
Come on.
It's a warthog. Come on. Anyway, there you go. Folks, if you're confused why we're playing this game in a tech podcast, this is your first episode, go listen to other ones.
Welcome.
You'll figure it out eventually. Yeah. That's all I got. So, Will, what are we here to talk about this week, man?
More specifically, go to hightechpod.us or our YouTube channel and search the word tank, and you'll have your answer.
Yes.
Well, this week we're not going to necessarily write anything down, but we are going to scribe some things.
But
got it.
Because that's why
the landing.
If you don't like our tech news, you come here for our really great jokes. That's...
I think I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Yes, this year, as we've mentioned before, we're going to lean into two specific themes, and actually we've added a third theme. We are going to explore Topia all year, so you've already seen our first episode on Topia. There's going to be more to come there. We're also going to be exploring Scribe, right? We're going to be looking at what this tool does, what it's capable of doing. We want you to know that this is available to you. We really like this tool. Of course, full disclosure, we are affiliates. We are trying to encourage your use of these tools because I think it's useful and they're functional. If you subscribe through us using our links, etc., all that good stuff for us, good stuff for you, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But we only do this because we believe in it. Josh and I don't just, get with Mary Kay because we're trying to get a pink Cadillac. Like, we think that this is a tool. Josh wants the pink Cadillac.
Yeah, I'm there for it,
Josh. Of course, the third theme that came up last episode is we're also going to be pushing on Proton this year because I am ditching Google. And the first step of that actually happens in 2 days, where I'm going to swipe the credit card, folks, and join the Proton Ultimate. Yeah. Josh will literally watch me pull my credit card out, and swipe it against my laptop with nothing to happen. But, it's going to be fun. But all these themes together, we're gonna mix and match because we really think that Scribe is going to be useful in documenting. We've said this last episode. I'm gonna use it to document how I move over to Proton. Like, literally, what does it take to move my Gmail over to Proton's Mail, and how do I move my my Bitwarden is what I use for my passwords over to Proton Pass, Google Drive to Proton Drive. Like, we're gonna be doing all that kind of stuff. But before we get there and actually document it, we want to show you exactly what Scribe is, how it works. You can consider using it already. You can follow along and start doing this with your own stuff. But what is it? What is Scribe? Scribe is a tutorial builder, right? And that's the short and sweet of it. But like, literally simple and easy. You hit record, you click through a website, you click through a workflow, it captures that workflow for you. Josh and I found tools like this, too late in our careers? We used to make all of our tutorials by hand, manually. You take 100 screenshots and then you try and filter them into a PDF, or you make a screen recording using what's that? Loom? Loom was a popular one for a while.
I mean, Loom still is. I still go to Loom for videos and stuff for screen recording.
Nothing against Loom.
Yeah,
it's great.
I just had a coworker use
Snagit.
Or something. Snagit. I use Snagit.
Snagit's also a big one for creating screen recordings. The thing about screen recordings is if something changes, you have to re-record the entire video. If you do voiceover tutorials, if something changes, you have to redo the whole script. You have to redo the video. If it's PDFs, back in my day, it's funny saying that, all of my PDF tutorials were Word docs. So if something changed, I would go in the Word doc, switch out one picture maybe or a couple of headlines and then recreate it as a PDF. But again, PDFs, they don't change. They're static. And if something was wrong or if something changes in the user interface, like, it takes a lot to update that stuff over time. Josh and I are very familiar with this, having done it. We've done all of these things.
I'm familiar with Will's PDFs because I inherited them.
There was a pretty good library, right?
There was a good library, yes, and then I promptly killed them, and Notion took over at that time.
Not only did you kill them, you sacrificed the learning management system that they were all built in on an altar.
Yeah,
and bathed in its blood.
Yeah, well, that was the whole thing. But that was a vivid example of something that wasn't quite that way. I mean, it was, it was not exactly. Anyway, yeah, no, I think two big issues I see when we talk about basically all the alternatives, right? Because we're talking about like a tool like Scribe, and we've talked about other tools on the podcast before that do similar things like this. Essentially, you're building interactive tutorials. Now they have options for how they work. Like, they could be in a guide format, or they can be in like a click-through format. And what Will and I have found over the years, right, is your alternatives are basically like they're different fidelity versions, right? Like it could be like Word PDF guides. Those are pretty much like last year, I think at this point. Like if I really see people dropping PDF guides regularly in places, I question what decade we're in. Because like at this point now, like you should be having some kind of digital kind of knowledge base of guides and resources, in my opinion, if you're going to be doing this, right? And so like we've talked about like Notion, tools like that, which are still great. Like my team has a lot of those step-by-step
and you use
stuff.
A knowledge base, right?
Yeah,
like
we have a knowledge base for our team,
search.
and then we have a knowledge base for the like people we serve. We're in a unique scenario where like a lot of these tutorials for people listening, you're usually in one of two places. You need tutorials for your team of people, and then some of you might also be in a scenario where like our team is also, we need that for our team of people, but we also need tutorials and guides for the people we're training. We train faculty on how to use the technology at the institution, and so we need actual support guidance that we manage and support as well. So I think those two worlds look a little bit different, but they're basically the same idea. You're trying to impart knowledge on how to do something, right? And so the classics have been step-by-step guide, video, and then that with a combination of like maybe you do some webinars, or you do some trainings, or you do some courses right on them. And I think the two biggest problems that have always existed with those models, no matter what they are, is maintenance is a problem, right? We have a joke in our office that every guide you create is like making a baby. Like you have to take ownership for feeding that baby. Okay. I'm going past that analogy from here. Okay. Moving forward. Okay. So you gotta feed that baby, right? You can't neglect the baby, right? The baby needs new clothes sometimes, right? You know, like this, it's, you know, you're creating a family.
You can't put it in a corner.
Yeah. You're creating a family of resources. One day it will be archived, but it will probably be long after you're gone. You know what I mean? Like that's
so dark.
I'm sorry. Like,
love it.
But like here's the deal. It's resourcing, right? So like you could create a lot of guides, but then you've got to maintain those guides. Like if I had $1 for every extensive database of guidance that's out of date, I'd be a much richer person, because it's a lot of work to update those things. Buttons change, things change, processes change,
which means you need a team.
Yeah,
it should be people dedicated to doing it. Otherwise it gets out of date.
But here's the other thing with guides. Like people don't always like using them. Like a lot of people want to like see it done, right? Or sometimes like a step-by-step doesn't always give you a perfect example. And so the other alternative is video, but video is also hard to update. And also hard to remember from. Like if you get like a 5-minute video, people are pausing and starting all the time to do the steps, right? And then I think the maintenance piece is one part of it, but the biggest weakness is what Will and I have talked about all the time, which is those of us coming from a learning background will acknowledge that all of those resources, while they can be helpful, they don't actually teach the person how to do the thing, right? Like at a certain level, they don't entirely teach them how to do it. Because like they follow the guide and then they probably forget step 6 and 7 next time they go back to do it, right? Or they watch that video and like, oh man, that was super helpful. And then they have to go do that again 2 months from now, and they don't really remember the process. And it doesn't actually have them do it themselves. And so that often isn't a full teaching experience. Now they're useful, but they fall short in those regards. So Will and I have always been really interested in tools like Scribe, is that they provide a different type of tutorial, which is that you can, look at it in a resourced guide version and record it while you're doing it, which I think is the other piece of it that's super helpful, but then also has like a live play version where somebody can hit play on it and they can literally do the thing they need to do through learning the thing, right? So they don't even have to kind of learn it first. They can just follow along. And then the whole power of a tool like Scribe is that like you can record the whole thing while you're doing it. And I think that's the other big part of it, right? Because to create any of those videos or those guides, it often requires a lot of extra other work on top of creating it, in my opinion, right? Like the guide, you can't just do it. You literally have to, like, Will, you and I have both been in this scenario. You're like, okay, step 1. Okay, I gotta get myself in the right scenario. And then I screenshot it. And then you're like, okay, that screenshot looks good. I think it was zoomed in enough. Then I'm gonna put that in the page. And then step 2, okay, I gotta click on the step 2 and then I gotta screenshot. Oh, darn it missed the drop down that I wanted that comes in. So now I gotta re-screenshot the darn screenshot. Or you screenshot it and you're like, ah, crap, that had my social security number in it. I gotta, you know what I mean? Like, so you gotta,
I gotta blank that out. I gotta retake that shot.
Then they change a button 2 months later. And you got to go back and you got to redo the guidance. Or
and then you take that screenshot again and you still forget that your social security number is on screen. You got to take the
or like a
again.
real live version, right? Is like we just created a huge learning paths of different courses in Storyline that involve interactive click-throughs where they are like the instructor is told like they get a video or guidance on how to do something. And then they literally go into a simulated version of that grade book or whatever. And they're given an objective and they have to complete that objective to prove that they do. Wow. Yeah, we're pretty cool. But here's the problem. Canvas, in their infinite wisdom, 2 weeks into the semester, is like, it'd be super cool. That save button on the rubric is probably confusing people a lot. What if we change that save button to submit assessment? That seems like the right thing to do because that probably makes sense. Now, all of those click-throughs in the grade book
rubric guy did that 2 weeks into the semester.
It's stupid. So like all of this is to say,
horrible.
People think creating tutorials who aren't involved in it are much simpler than it actually is. It's actually, there's a reason there's entire jobs committed around this stuff. Documenting stuff is important.
We have some experience on that where it's like you talk to somebody, you're like, oh yeah, the workflow is so easy. It's like 5 steps. Cool. Write that down for us. 37 steps later. It's like, when you think about a real step, it's click, scroll, highlight, type, submit, save. Like each of those is a step. When you think to somebody who's like, oh, no, you just open the page, type your thing in and hit submit. Oh, that's 3 steps in your brain until you realize that takes 10 steps to accomplish that functionally in the system.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why Josh and I are here.
Yeah. But either way, I think you need these things in a lot of different places. It's either tutorials, it's support guidance, but it's not just that. It's onboarding, it's documenting. I think teams who are really good and mature at what they're doing document their roles work so that they can train other people. And if they bring on new people, they need to train them, right? And so that type of stuff, the reason it doesn't get done is it is time consuming. And so what I think is really helpful with a tool like Scribe is that you can do a lot of that in a more premium way while you're actually doing the thing. And I think that's super cool. So like for context, and we'll show more examples here, but like really like a Scribe, let's say like I have somebody asking me a question about like, how do you set up a Notion database to do something, right? And when I go to set up a Notion base to do something, I can actually create a Scribe tutorial in that moment that shows them how to do that. So for me, who's trying to document a lot of team stuff, a tool like Scribe allows me to go, you know what, guys, just use Scribe when you do this process for the first time. Now that we've implemented it, can you please use Scribe to record while you're doing it? So that way we instantly document the process all in a couple weeks of a new process we've launched, as opposed to like spending hours and hours creating documentation separately. And so that's why I think these tools are very, very cool. They're very powerful. They're very helpful. It's why they often are advertised to you on your YouTube videos if you're like Will and I when we first heard Scribe. And
I get them on Instagram too.
Yeah, I get them all over the place. And the funny thing, guys, I'll be transparent. When Scribe first, because I think Scribe reached out to us, right, originally when we were talking about doing this or something along those lines. Yeah. So like we've used other tools similar to Scribe. And Will and I, like, I'm okay with Scribe hearing this now in the video, okay? Will and I wanted to hate Scribe. Like, because it was like, I'll be honest, it was like Monday.com. Like, if I got one more Scribe advertisement, I was going to be like, just stop, please stop giving me this advertisement. So I actually really wanted to hate them. Okay. So when we got their tutorial to test, Will remembers this. I did like a test the one day just to see how it was. And like, I instantly like pinged him and I was like, I take back everything I said. This thing is sick. Like it had, because we've used other tools similar to Scribe and it had several features that Will and I have painstakingly used with clients in other tools that like we were dying to have, and Scribe immediately had it. Like ability to like live edit, ability to like live change text. Because sometimes when Scribe reads, those types of tools read a website, instead of saying click submit, it says click item, because like somebody somewhere didn't do the right HTML to call that submit in the back end, right? So like the Scribe allows you to live edit that. Scribe allows you to live blur things. There's a lot of really cool features to Scribe that like just didn't exist collaboratively,
and they work.
Working on a guide. Like I can have multiple people comment on it. I can move steps around. I can manually add in steps that are hard to record, like stuff that just like is very difficult to do in some other tools. I instantly was like, this is perfect. And then it releases it in an interactive tutorial, a step-by-step guide. I think like kind of a video interactive version as well. And PDF. So like anybody who wants to see it can see it in any kind of form they want to see it in. So I think that's what's super cool about these types of tools.
That's one of those big wins for a tool like this. We are feeling the pain as the back end user. We are the admins typically. We're the ones creating the tutorials, and we're looking for a tool that makes that as easy as possible. At the same time, it is for our end user, and we want it to be as valuable for them as possible. And that's one of those things Scribe offers. Those multimodal approaches, like Josh is saying. It's okay to want to watch a video or like something in a video format. It's okay to want something in a step-by-step format or a PDF format. It's okay. Everybody learns differently, and we're not going to get into learning styles. It's just like everybody has a preference. That's fine. Scribe lets us, the back-end users, do it as quickly and as easily as possible, and then it gives you, the front-end user, the choice on how you consume the material. That like, we've got it right there.
Yeah.
So, as noted before, I'm going to be making a series of these all around my move away from Google. It's going to be really useful, Gmail to Proton Mail, Bitwarden to Proton Pass, all that different stuff. Cool. Today, we're just going to look at a little bit of what Scribe does, how to use it. We're gonna do a quick Scribe. I'm gonna show one or two things on screen of something we're gonna do with it. But we want you to see what's possible with this, so and hey, we're stumble through this. It's been a minute since I made a Scribe, a couple weeks. So you're going to see really the full first experience, what it's like to do this yourselves, and consider whether you want to do that, right? If this is something that shows you that value and shows you how easy it is, huzzah. Sign up today. Use our links on the episode, our website, all that kind of stuff. You'll be able to follow along with us. So let's get some screen sharing going. This is Scribe. As you'll see, I literally have only ever completed in this account. Okay, I have a couple accounts. In this account, I've only ever completed like getting the extension. That's the extension up here in the top right-hand corner of my browser. We'll get to there in a little bit. Number 2, it's telling me to create my first Scribe. And then number 3, of course, it wants me to share it. And I will be sharing this with all of you. Before we go too much further, you'll notice that it's got a couple of, let me do a little zoom in here. It's got a couple of features like created by me, save settings. Like you can get to creating collections in here. If you have a team, you'll have multiple options. You'll see this here. We could have multiple teams even, multiple teammates. If there's an enterprise setup, like you can have a really robust collaborative experience in Scribe for managing everything on the back end. This is a brand new account, so you don't see a whole lot there, but lots of fun options for it, lots of ways to like consider what you're doing and structure out the tasks you need to create, invite new people in, or create a new Scribe. So easy interface to work with from their website, scribehow.com or scribe.com. If I click this button, because I'm in here, it's going to open up the browser app. Of course, at any time, if I'm anywhere on the internet, all I have to do is click this extension and it will load up for me. I could be at google.com, I could be at yahoo.com, I could be at scribe.com. I could make a Scribe about Scribe. We could get a little meta if we wanted to.
Yeah.
You'll notice, though, it says start capture. It just wants you to start capturing because the point is it's that easy. I'm going to jump out of here. I'm going to head over to Proton VPN. Proton VPN is Proton's #1 VPN tool. You can use it for free. It gives you access to a couple of small servers you can use to help protect your personal identity on the internet. If you use a VPN, it is going to cover your IP address from your internet service provider, from third parties, from advertisers, etc. It's going to protect your personal data. So I like VPNs. I think it's a very useful practice. You can use this one for free. Also, go sign up through our affiliate link on our website, all that good junk. But let's start our first Scribe on what it looks like to get Proton VPN. So I'm going to hit Start Capture. Now capturing your browser. Thank you very much. And it's going to tell me here on the right-hand side, capturing your screen. Click your screen to begin capturing. So right now, if I'm just mousing around, it's not doing anything yet. It's going to capture.
Sorry, I've never heard that phrase before, mousing around.
Mousing
until right
around.
Now. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I got lucky. I came up with it. If I click, if I type, if I scroll, it's going to start capturing. But right now, it's not doing anything besides waiting for me to act. Now, I'm gonna prolong this a little bit because frankly I need to click like 2 things. We'd be done here. But let's say I go to protonvpn.com and I want to tell people like why Proton VPN. So I'm gonna click on that drop down. You're gonna see this drop down. You'll also notice in the bottom right hand corner here, it's given me step 1 is navigate to protonvpn.com, and then it says step 2, click why Proton VPN. Let's just say I didn't like that step. I'm going to delete step 2. So it's still back here to just step 1, which is go to the website. If I click out, it's going to register that click. So you'll notice here in this preview, it had the pop-up and I clicked into gray space and the pop-up went away. So this is just to show how easy it is. If you have a misclick, a mistype, just delete that step and start over. Nice and easy, which if Josh and I recall from other experiences is already easier.
We've created tutorials for clients and like this is, I can tell you, you're like, okay, so what Will and Josh does that. I can tell you when you get to creating 30 of these, you will be very thankful for this step because you misclick all the time or you end up doing something you didn't want to, or like you click somewhere and you didn't realize that was going to be the thing it was going to be. And you look at it like, so what I honestly, one of my favorite things about this tool is what Will is showing right now, that you can live see as you're doing it, what it's creating. Because I've done other tools that I don't know. So I get through the whole darn tutorial only to realize steps 2 and 3 I wanted to do didn't register for some reason. And so now I've got to figure out how to fix that. Like that's
and you're lucky if it's only steps 2 and 3. Sometimes it was like in the middle, like steps 13 through 17. You're like, dang it, I've got to go redo half of the tutorial.
So like this feature is super cool. I think it's very, very useful, and it just makes it so much easier to create the tutorial while you're doing it.
So you'll notice on screen, folks, as you're watching us, it's not doing anything else. I haven't taken action yet, but we have information like what is a VPN, why, Proton VPN, all features, blah, 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 blah. Cool, right? You can see that they've got this kind of connection to like it can help you with streaming, whatever. I'm just going to go what is a VPN for one more step here. So I'm going to click that. You're going to see it's registered step 3. Click on what is a VPN. It has the, I love this. I can see that my little thumbnail is saying that's what I actually clicked. That is what I want it to save. I can begin to scroll through this page. Cool. I can see some information. I'm actually going to kind of double click here and highlight what is a VPN used for. So it's saying double click. It's captured that. All right. I'm convinced. I'm not going to give you too many more steps. Let's get Proton VPN. So I'm going to scroll up to the top right-hand corner here. I'm going to click Get Proton VPN. It's going to load the whole new page, and you'll see the click Get Proton VPN thumbnail load here. I do want to point this out. I've got 5 steps in my workflow right now. Notice I'm on the VPN page, and I don't have a thumbnail for the VPN page, right? I took an action. That was clicking on Get Proton VPN. I have not yet taken another action, so it hasn't captured anything on this page. I will still need to do something here to capture that page. Like, always just audit yourself. Do I have everything in the thumbnails or not? Do I need to keep clicking? Do I need to do something? Because like what I did on the last page, I might just want to double click compare VPN plans and pricing. And maybe we're going to adjust this in post, but like now I know it has still captured this page. Now that's actually not a very useful, step. I'm going to delete it. What if I just wanted to get Proton free? I'm going to click Get Proton free. Now it's going to have saved that. It's going to bring up this pop-up in front of me. So again, we're working through this. I could say, hey, get the deal. They're trying to sell me Get VPN Pro Plus for only $1. We all know that's going to be like, for the first month. Then it renews at the full rate. You're seeing that down here below. I'm going to, instead of clicking, say, get the deal, I'm going to click on continue with free. And that will ask me to start creating an account. There are ways, I'm pretty sure you can just download the software separately, but here you can go through the whole process, create an account. If you already have one, sign in. It's telling you all the benefits. Huzzah. I'm going to click into email address. That should be my last step here for this tutorial. Click the email address field, and that's where you would type things in, etc. Notice, folks, you can see ours is inbox@hightechpod.us if you would like to email us to become on the podcast and join our conversation. Let's complete the capture, though, right? So I hit complete. We have just gone through the whole first few steps of what it takes to get Proton VPN if we want to do that. And now our tutorial is going to load through. some confetti. I like that. This
Yeah.
scribe is currently only visible to you. Make any changes, then share it. Document actions are here. Duplicate this scribe, move, add to a page, delete, add more.
I'm also
view
wondering if
actions.
we only pick tools with purple buttons. It's a fun random fact.
Isn't that the thing? It's like blues to purples is the like modern user interface design theory.
Anyway, sorry, it was a fun.
You gotta wonder.
Fun vibe.
All right, folks. Here's the quick tutorial. Now we've built one. We can scroll down through. We can see what we just did. All right, it's loading up. If something was wrong, we might want to delete. We might want to edit. From top to bottom, though, right? So it's saying it's currently. Oh gosh, I went to double click. It's only private to me. If I double click this, it's going to open up the share settings. If I click share, it's going to open up the share settings. So I could send this over to Josh. I could just make it public. Let's go here. I can say high tech podcast. Anyone with the link can view is going to be our goal, right? I want this to be available to you, the viewer, if you want to sign up for Proton VPN free plan.
And
I could add in a manual.
Notice some cool stuff. It already tagged the guide by Proton VPN, like by the website, what it was. So like you can create other tags for these things. I also love that it tells you how many steps and the average time it would take to do this. Now, it's probably a little bit longer because it took Will a while to do the clicking. So Capture was kind of picking that up. But I think that's super cool. And also commenting. I mean, Will, this is something we didn't have in other tools we've used, like a collaborative comment feature that you can actually respond to.
So this will be if you're working with an enterprise environment, you got a team, right? You're in a document like, oh, this is great. Let's make more. I loved that a second ago. If I clicked on this, let's see, I'll scroll down to this one, make a new one. It's giving suggestions. This is confusing. This isn't accurate. It looks great. One of the ones from the other one was this scribe is out of date, right? Mm-hmm. So when you have that team that's managing your scribes, creating tutorials, this is the collaboration you're going to want. Communicating with each other quickly, letting people know something's wrong, something's great, I have a suggestion, cool. Just going to send that through. Timestamped, I said it. So if Josh was logged in, it'd be Josh's name, it's me, it's my name, etc., etc. Mm-hmm. You can resolve these comments, edit them, delete them. But this is what we need.
Scribe, if you're listening, the pre-fill text might need a little bit of work. Like, who comments, I have a suggestion, and then doesn't tell you the suggestion?
But now I can take.
Oh, now you can tell. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I got it now.
Thank you for listening, Scribe. We're very thrilled.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It just made me laugh. I'm now gonna comment on people's stuff. I have a suggestion and not put anything else in. That's gonna be my new tactic.
We know that this is really a good step one, but I'll show you here on the left-hand side. I've got an option here to kind of click and drag, so I can move this step up. So if we click this icon to be the first step instead, that's not true. So I want to pull that back up. I can select multiple steps, right? So I'll select 1, I'll select 2, I'll select 3. Now I can start to move them around. I can duplicate them. I combine them, copy them, delete them, deselect them, right? So some good bulk management of steps. If you did have a problem in the middle, like, oh, so we were only seeing thumbnails before, right? If I was looking at step 3 here as an example, try and zoom it in really far. Maybe when I was looking at this is like all I could see. And when I zoom out, like Josh was saying before with other tutorial tools, I see my social security number or my email, so it's like, oh no, I don't want to do that. Right. So we want to make sure we can do some bulk management. I could collect, a couple of them and hit delete. Easy peasy. Now we can add alt text, very important for accessibility. We can zoom this in, right? So this is a good landing page of showing the whole website, but let's say like this one, I don't need the whole thing. So I'm gonna zoom. I like that. This is now about where I want it. Let's grab this guy and we're gonna put it right in the center there. So I'm editing the click target. It's actually moving where they want them to have it.
You can notice there you can change the color. And then there's a pen icon up in the corner that allows you to like add other stuff as well into that image. So like if you wanted to annotate it or redact things, like your social security.
Josh's social security number.
Yeah, like those types of things. You can do all of that using these tools right here, which I think is super cool because like there's a lot of times you end up using separate tools for stuff like that in tools you're doing, right? Like in my guides that are just default in Notion, I'm using Snagit to create the images and edit the images, and then I'm putting it over into Notion and we're adding the text there, right? So like this does it in one spot, which I think is super cool to what you're able to do.
all of these features that you can use to edit the specific picture it took are fantastic. Annotate, that's new for us compared to other tools. Redact has been in other tools, but like we'll open it in a second. It's awesome. Crop, also new compared to other tools. Love that. Replace the image, significantly useful, right? So any of these, you're going to be able to kind of, if you wanted to, up here in the thing, we can add to this page. So we're going to like either go add new pictures, we can go back and redo a step, right? There's a way to, but just knowing that I could come in here and be like, sorry, pencil, replace image. Let's say I just don't want this page. Whatever it is, I just want to put a picture here. I want to put a new version of this page. I want to take a specific screenshot that gets exactly a certain amount of pixels so they can only take that screenshot and replace the image, right? That option is available to you. You can put up anything you want here in replacement of this page. These options are just fantastic. The add to page is really great. Target color, it's kind of fun. I can just do all of them. So let's go for purple, right? Let's join the purple crew. All of these have just become purple. Edit image, let's go back to redact. So that's always going to be a useful one for anybody. On this page now, let's say like this was really offensive to me. I can blur that out. Let's see, is this a duplicate? Yeah, I can do another one. I can just, I don't like this, duplicate that out. I can delete it. Really easy to just kind of modify, protect information. Again, always aiming for privacy, security. In this same page, now that I've got to the redact page, I can do cropping. This is great. I could kind of tuck this in or leave it wide. Oh, that just made it a little too much. Annotation is going to let me do kind of erase something. That'd be erasing my own stuff, I guess. Do an arrow. I can erase that. I can do a rectangle, do an ellipse. Text. Make sure, let me make it big. Make sure to, right? Lots of good options here for what you can do to customize your training experience for the people you're working with. Undo, 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 undo.
What do you mean? That looked great. I love not seeing where you're supposed to click, having random shapes and a text that just says make sure.
Super easy to do. I actually like their orange. I'm gonna put that back.
Yeah, I think
I'm noticing here there's a hex code, so you could just put in your own code color. If you got a brand color you want to use, very useful.
So I think this is great, Will. It shows you how to edit the steps, right? But so what does the final product look? I think for people is the next big question.
I'm going to briefly, I'm not going to touch this. I'm going to be honest. It's going to come in a future episode because I've never touched it before. Of course, you can notice they've got an AI feature. So, you look for the little sparkles. You look for AI, Copilot, Underlord, all the languages these days of tools you're using. You can try it out. We're not going to do it live because I'm too scared to, frankly. But let's finish our editing and look at the final product. This is the default, right? It's going to go to this kind of scroll through experience. I'm going to hit share here and grab this. Copy link. We're going to go for a incognito Brave browser view. And we're going to look at this as the end user, right? Not us. It defaults to this view of the scroll through. You're going to see step 1, step 2, step 3.
Notice also real quick, Will, as you're highlighting each step, the step number changes to a link icon. And that's because you can link to any step. So let's say you do create this tutorial, but you're a new person you were onboarding, they just started the job, but they started the job a couple weeks ago. They did this tutorial, but they forget how to do step 6 or whatever, step 4, and they inevitably forget that there's a knowledge base and they ask you. This is not live experience or anything.
Never happened.
You could very easily here just link to that step instead of having to tell them, hey, scroll down and go to step 6. You could just grab that link to step 6 and provide it to them. And I think that's super helpful.
Which is great because they could come back and get the rest of the context. It's not going to, let's grab step 4 here, new tab, just load step 4. It's going to take me straight there, which is great. But all the end user has to do is scroll up and there's step 3, right? So you're going to take them right to the step they need, but they'll be able to see each of the things. I like that it's that easy to do. And there's actually commenting here for others. So they're going to ask you to sign in, sign up, but then that external user could use one of those little comments we saw while we're doing the editing in the background to say, hey, this Scribe's out of date, or I have a suggestion to improve.
I have a suggestion.
Lots of options.
Yeah.
Also from here, you can get to just our account and see anything else that we've done. We could click on this Proton VPN and see anything else tagged with that. Lots of flexibility here. I really appreciate that. I'm going to switch back here. This was just a share link, right? I did viewing mode scroll. Notice you can do movie, or you can do slides. You can embed, and waiting for that to load a second. Hopefully it comes through. Embed, you'll see that it's kind of what does it look like, and it's got the kind of click through. Export to PDF, to HTML, to Markdown, to Word, to Confluence, right? So if you're in the world where someone's going to want you to have a physical file instead of a link, right? You can do that. I will say one of the other things that I love about tools like this, especially Scribe, is analytics. If you're sharing this link out, and you're going out beyond that, you're going to get analytics, as you can note here, from who has viewed it. This is team interactions, and it's specifically me 3 minutes ago, but we've got insights on how this has been used. Now, I just created this live. I've only clicked on it once, but it's got 3 views, 0 completions, completion rate, created by. I can invite teammates, guests, etc. Right? We can see a little bit more information about this stuff, and we can get that. You cannot get that information from a PDF. That is one of those things I've always wrestled with folks who are like, no, everything should be a document. Everything should be a flat file. Can you get data on how people are using that file? No, you can't. You can still do it. It's available to you if you need to go that route, but lots of options here. Let's also just see the movie real quick. I'm going to copy movie link. I'm going to go back to my incognito and roll out the movie. So I can hit play. I don't believe you're going to hear the language in your ears, and I just muted it because it's going to distract me, but I'm hearing a voice. So it's saying click this icon. It said navigate to this link before. Now it's going to say click what is a VPN, find out what a VPN is, how it works, and when to use one. If you don't like that, you can, of course, edit that slide title in the language that's there. Double click what is a VPN used for. Again, if you remember when I was building this, I did that to kind of show that that's where I wanted them to see on the page. So you got to get creative with how you show things on page. But here's a click Proton free. This is great, right? I can pause at any moment. I hit pause, but I think it's probably going to finish that step. So now it's not going to continue. Let's click this. See what happens. I click. It's just going to start playing the video. And it's going to go for the next step and finish our tutorial. This also reminds me, like some of the work Josh and I have done, I think it might be important to consider your beginning and your end, right? So we came in with no context, right on protonvpn.com, and it ended with the last page. Maybe you want to have like a what's this tutorial about page, so you would add in some text or add in something, like annotate the first slide or change what it reads so it says welcome to this tutorial about. Right? These are all the things you should consider when thinking about your end product. But there's lots of good features here. You'll notice there's playback speed, there's volume. You can go back step by step. You could just do it step by step, or you can watch it as a movie, whatever you want to do. Lots of flexibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, Will, do you want to show the guide me option as well from Scribe?
Where did you see that? Was that
click out of the share link.
Okay.
And then click guide me there next to the
excellent.
So this is currently a beta feature that they have access to. Yep. But this is what I was talking about, interactive, right?
Right.
So with guide me on, you can actually have it next to you telling you what to do. So it's okay, navigate. Now you're on this step.
All right.
Click on this icon. So
here,
go to
right?
Y Proton VPN. And
so the next
then
step?
it should take you to the next step. It might be there we go.
Cool.
It's picking it up.
So
actually
you've got to either interact with the right or and it just moved my screen down. That's great.
Yeah.
Next. Oh, I didn't click that. That's why I didn't do it. So let's click get Proton VPN. Cool. Let's go. Oh, and then it hovers here. Let's get Proton free. Notice, folks, this is on the website. This is Josh and I have used a number of tools in this space. This is like a premium feature, usually, like a very expensive
this is live.
feature
this is what I was talking
do
about.
it
so like,
live on the website.
You can actually get to a level where you're doing live tutorials, and the person's actually doing the task by following the tutorial. And I think that's one of the big things. Sometimes you just want to send somebody how to do something, and they don't want to have to like learn how to do it and then do it. Sometimes they just want to learn how to do it while they're doing it. And so like this can be super helpful, right? So again, just a super helpful feature for Scribe in general.
It is prompting for feedback. You can restart. You can go to previous. If I click here, that's going to be the end of it. Again, this is one of those things where I'll say from what I was saying a moment ago, like this tutorial doesn't really end. We didn't design it to end. We didn't give a language. So you want to consider that for your end user. But really, really good. So we've got our first thing. Let me go back to our Scribe workspace. So now let's say, it knows our first one's there. I'm going to go to create it by me. I'm going to close this here. And that's our first tutorial logged in this space. If we've got different types, if we've got things to sort, if we're going to go by the tags, we're going to get to start organizing and building out a whole ecosystem inside of Scribe. But that's it, start to finish, how to create a Scribe. It's that easy, and it offers that much from just that step.
Yeah, exactly. So I think really, how does this matter for you, right? This can be a tutorial tool that you can use, but also if you listen to our last episode, which you did it, if you didn't and you're listening to this episode, stop it, go listen to episode 231, where we talk about why Will is leaving Google and how we're going to be documenting him, how he does it through using Proton, right? So we're going to be documenting the actual way to do it through Scribe. Like Will is going to be documenting how to download VPN, how to set up the stuff he's looking for, how to get your Google stuff over from this spot to VPN or over to Proton, right? I'm being largely vague, but like the whole steps of how to do this, Will's going to be laying this out on Scribe for you. So if this is something you're interested in doing, like you're like, I really liked what you guys were talking about last episode. I want to leave Google and I want to go to like a tool like Proton, have more control over my data, have more control over my resources. And I want to go to a tool like Proton, get a VPN, do some of those things, right? But you're not sure where to start. Will's going to be starting for you. Will is our guinea pig. So Will is going to be doing it for you, and he's going to be documenting every step of the way how to do it in Scribe, right? So be on the lookout on the High Tech Podcast, because we're going to do more episodes on how Will did it, but then we're also going to follow up with Scribes on how Will did it, so you can also follow that Scribe, be the end user, and learn how to do it on your own. Right?
This is quite meta.
There's a lot of stuff going on, right? So if you want to learn how to de-Google your life, keep following the High Tech Podcast, and you'll be getting tutorials on how to do that. And watch the journey. It'll be a good time. We'll see. We still are skeptical on how successful this is going to be. In many ways, I think some of us
skeptical,
more than others.
Terrified. We're doing it live.
Will
folks.
really, hats off to Will. Because Will really like committed to a thing. He's like, I'm going to leave this. And not only that, but I'm going to document the whole thing on the podcast and create tutorials on how to do it. That, props to him. I know another host who wouldn't be willing to do that.
Oh.
I'm not. I'm going to watch. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to get breakfast with him on Saturday and we're going to do some stuff. But that's my involvement. But I will be leveraging these tutorials probably at some point to do stuff myself someday. That will be the adventure. So yeah. So anyway.
Spoiler alert, I am going to eventually close. Like we've got Bitwarden for a little while. We use Bitwarden for our business and the podcast and stuff. So I am going to we're going to have to come back to that. But he may have to join me with Proton Pass. Who knows what's going to happen.
Well, that's fine. I really just kind of
switch things up.
It's used Bitwarden for us, so that's fine. I can make that sacrifice. It's okay. So yeah, check that out. We'll be documenting that on the podcast, and we'll also link to Scribe here as well this episode. So go to hightechpod.us and find that over there if you're interested in it. If you want to get an actual license with Scribe or test things out, please make sure to use our affiliate link, which we'll provide there as well, because it helps us, it helps you, it helps all people. It's really just a win-win scenario, I believe. That's my
win.
We don't get a lot of those in 2026.
Is win.
So, just do that.
Well, folks, thank you for joining us for episode 232 of the High Tech Podcast. Here on January 29th is when we're recording, but you'll hear this in February of 2026. It's been a great episode as always. This is a wrap on another week of the High Tech Podcast of empowering minds,
embracing tech. Cheers.
Buckle up, let's ride the wave. Future's calling, tech to crave. High Tech Podcast, light the way. Join the journey, click and play.